When people ask me what kind of Tantra I teach, I answer I teach my Tantra, but what I like you to learn, it's your Tantra. Because yes, I don't want you to become my follower. I like to empower, to find the guru within you. So with special tantric techniques, you learn how to use your body, use your sexuality, one of the most strongest energy what we have. It creates life. Instead of losing it, we bring it up to the heart, so we are more loving, more connected with ourselves, more loving and connected with our partners. In that way, you are full of energy afterwards. This energy what creates life, instead of losing it, you bring to your higher chakras, you nourish them, so you become very powerful on many levels. It expands to love it all. You start to connect more with the nature. You start to take care for maybe your neighbors, what's going on in the world.
Welcome to this new episode, and today I am here with Michal Griks, who is a tantric teacher in Phangan. How are you?
I'm good, fine,
Very
beautiful.
Nice. So, first of all, I'd like to ask you, what is your journey in life up until now?
When I was 14, I started to think critically, get to subculture, become activist, and since that moment I start to see that I like to make a world a better place, and in all possible ways, also by finding my freedom, sometimes wild. I was doing this, and when I was 21, I moved to Amsterdam for good. My daughter was born when I was 20, and that also influenced my life in most beautiful way. And I lived because of her 15 years in Amsterdam. Then when she was ready, she let me go to travel more, and I moved to Romania, to Spain, and now in Phangan since 5 years. When I was in Amsterdam, in some moment of my life, I made a big shift, and I experienced Tantra, and that another most beautiful thing what happened in my life. It transformed my life completely, and since 15 years I'm experiencing it, I'm fully in. Since 10 years I decided to share it with the others, so I'm teaching more and more intensively, as I see it's the best, the most deep, in my opinion, way of making a world a better place from individual level, but also from the humanity level, global level.
That's very interesting. So you said at 15 you started becoming an activist?
Yes, when I was 14 years old, I became vegetarian, activist. I was also doing a lot of videos, reporting things like you, interviewing people to get to know them, to get to connect with what they are busy with. Sometimes that was the way how I got to know about the subject, what they were passionate, and so I like it very much. And I used the videos because I saw at that moment this is the most efficient way to make a world a better place. Videos are very popular medium, people watch it. So I felt like, okay, this way I can influence. But then when I experienced Tantra, I felt like, wow, this is even, in my opinion, more efficient. So I went more and more into that direction.
Sounds good. And you said that you found a Tantra in Amsterdam. Was there any specific teacher or school?
Yes. I'm very grateful to study at Rasayana Tantra Academy. That's one of the unique official with accredited papers university of Tantra. So I studied from many different teachers from different paths. The directress, Tara Long, she was very good to select one of the best teachers from around the world. And because of her innovative idea, a lot of teachers, good teachers, were teaching there because they wanted to support the idea that it's going out to the mainstream, that it get official papers. It's like officially accredited by states, and so. I'm very happy and grateful to study there, and yeah, some of my teachers like Sarita, Kenneth Ray-Stubbs, many, Advaita Maria Bach, Anand Rudra.
Very good. So it seems indeed that you have a very deep knowledge of Tantra because you've been studying it for so many years and teaching it as well. So some people don't quite know what Tantra means. I mean, I have experience with Tantra. I was also very lucky to study more traditional Tantra as well as being exposed to what some people might call Neo-Tantra. Yeah, so I tried both. What is Tantra?
So Tantra is a path of experience, and many people experience it in their own unique way, and for also different reasons. Some of them are attracted to Tantra to get enlightenment, to go into spirituality. Some of us are attracted, like in Neo-Tantra, more about to work with the relationship with yourself, with your partner, especially. Or work on your sexuality to transform it into love, and so that's why there is so many paths of Tantra, and they are sometimes very different. Some of them, they are very spiritual and see the sexuality as a thing what actually you get rid of towards the end. But some of them, they are very focused on the sexual aspects and they do not go so much into spirituality. When people ask me what kind of Tantra I teach, I answer, I teach my Tantra, but what I like you to learn, it's your Tantra. Because, yes, I don't want you to become my follower. I like to empower, to find the guru within you. I share with you mainly through experience. The theory I do through internet, through the books, through the videos, but at my workshops I use the space mainly to exercise, to feel, to work with the body, with the heart. So what I share with you experience, and experience, it's your. It's so it's never gonna lie to you. It's gonna go deeper. Also, like it's gonna teach you from not conditioned way that I tell you this is this, but you will feel this is this. You know. So what you experience, it's your. So yes, in my Tantra, most important is what I teach and I focus also in my life. What I discover and I follow this, I teach mainly how to love better and doing it. So on the spot, you learn how to love better and you do it. You practice it, you exercise it, you bring it to your life. And to love better, in three directions, very important. That you start with loving yourself, and then you expand it to your partner, and we are very focused to strengthen the conscious relationships in my Tantra, that you empower the connection, this union with your partner to, again, love yourself better, to heal yourself, to liberate yourself, and also with the tantric techniques to use the power of sexual energy to bring it more into the love and more into the spirituality. So with special tantric techniques, you learn how to use your body, use your sexuality, one of the most strongest energy what we have. It creates life. Instead of losing it, we bring it up to the heart, so we are more loving, more connected with ourselves, more loving and connected with our partners. In that way, we grow together as a couple, and we use the power of conscious relationship to multiply. It's like 1 to 1. It's not only 2, it's multiply. It's a lot. So, and then it expands. You have so much love by loving yourself, by loving your partner, multiplying this love, then it expands to love it all. You start to connect more with the nature. You start to take care for maybe your neighbors, what's going on in the world, how you can do it better, how you can make it better. And yes, it's very common that people who go not only in Tantra, but that's what I'm connected to, when they become more aware, they become very often more conscious about their choices, what they make. They start to live more environmental friendly, they become vegetarian, they start to take care about the nice energy around, and so on and so on.
Yes, I think you explain it very well. So everything starts from harnessing the sexual energy, being able to control it, sublimate it, and then through that, then we'll be able to love ourselves more, our people close to us, but then the general environment. It reminds me of something called the principle of resonance. Is it a tantric principle or not so much? Where you are at a higher vibration, and then in that sense you can also influence people around you.
Yes. So basically Tantra have many aspects. It's not teaching only about sexuality, about love, but also spirituality, about our feminine, masculine, about all our different energies, like inner child, our body, heart, mind, and spirit. So yes, resonance also it is included. So yes, as higher we vibrate, that's also like that's in other words, like as more we love, then more love would come to us, and more love we spread around, and more powerful we are in that love. We just have to allow it to flow. So Tantra is about, removing all the blockages, heal your past traumas, wounds, that the energy can flow without feeling contracted. You can liberate yourself from the conditionings what we didn't choose, and then you can expand in love, grow in ecstasy. And yes, you use these special techniques, special tools, and one of the most powerful I would like to share always, because it's so essential for Tantra, and it's one of like the best thing what happened in my life. It's the sublimation. I call it use it, don't lose it method. And you, instead of losing energy through the ejaculatory orgasm and clitoral orgasm, you bring this energy up and to the heart. You can later bring it to the throat. Your communication will improve. You can bring it to the head, that your creativity, your spirituality becomes stronger and more powerful. But I'll always advise people to bring it to the heart, that they can love themselves better, and they can love their partner better. They connect with themselves better with the partner. So yes, I give you practical method right now. Very shortly in my other videos, I explain it very widely, why and for, and so whenever you are come to close to a so-called point of no return, the moment when you will lose the energy in the lovemaking, instead of losing it, you do this use it, don't lose it method. So you tight the PC muscle, the muscle what you use to stop peeing, you tight it. In yoga, they call it Mula Bandha.
Yeah.
So with the tightening the PC muscle, with the breathing, you imagine the energy goes up to your heart, and then with the breath out, you imagine the energy goes back to the genitals. And you do 5 or 7 of those circulations, and in that way, you bring the energy to the heart. And what most important, you are far away from the point of no return, so you can continue with lovemaking. And you can do it like we transform the minutes into the hours, and we never lose the energy. We avoid it. If it happens, we don't feel guilt, but we intentionally, we never go for it. And in that way, you are full of energy afterwards. This energy what creates life, instead of losing it, you bring to your higher chakras, you nourish them, so you become very powerful on many levels. You become more creative, you look younger, you full of energy, you want to share that love more and more with your partner, with the world, yes.
So it's very interesting, you explaining how to harness the sexual energy, and instead of losing and wasting it, using it instead to be more powerful, more beautiful, and more connected with the world and yourself. I think you explained it particularly from a male perspective. So what are some of the challenges for the ladies instead?
It's the same for the woman as well. I recommend the same. The woman you lose the energy through the clitoral orgasm. She doesn't lose so much like men, but still she loses. And in Tantra, we don't want to lose it. We want to cultivate it. We want to go up. But the thing is with the woman also to get into the clitoral orgasm. It's sometimes a challenge. Actually, 20% of the female population, so one woman from 5 women, never or very rarely experience the clitoral orgasm. So on Phangan, I feel the percentage is better, but still, it's quite a lot. So for all those women, they have to learn how to experience, they have to exercise. They very often, especially in some cultures where self-pleasuring is not an option because of the social, religious upbringing. You know, they have to liberate themselves into doing it. The men very often, in average, the penetration is 7 minutes. For the woman, she needs 30 minutes. So the man give the foreplay. This can make the world a better place. If the man would be educated about, give enough foreplay for the woman. She will be ready, she would open up to you, she would be happy about it, she will rebuild the trust, interest into the lovemaking, also on her body level. So yes, for the woman also what is very important to heal her past wounds. Usually the woman is this is in general. Of course, the men can have even bigger wounds sometimes. But in general, that's the women who were suppressed through the patriarchal way of living for thousands of years. Lucky we liberating ourselves slowly out of it. But yes, even if it didn't happen in your life now, maybe in your previous generations, your grandmother, they were somehow suppressed and sometimes even abused. So we carry these wounds in our genes. We carry these blockages towards sexuality, towards men, towards penetration. So by very softly approach, giving enough foreplay, you can heal the woman's wounds. Showing her that she can trust again, that you're not gonna force the penetration because you are horny or something. You give her enough foreplay, and that the woman, especially her yoni, would become more trusting, more open.
Yes, indeed. I mean, sex is such a taboo in many cultures, and we all come from a tradition of sex being not discussed, not openly discussed. Certainly many people have all sorts of challenges around sexuality, and that's why it's very important to have people like you that can be so open about it, because even if we are in 2022 now, I feel like it's very challenging to have a deep felt honest conversations about sexuality. But I like to ask you, if somebody comes to one of your courses, how quickly can they learn these techniques, and what are the challenges when learning the techniques? Because I think that it's quite straightforward for many people to create lots of sexual energy, but then moving it maybe is not so easy, or it is easy in your opinion?
I would say everyone can learn that. It's I always use the example. There was one guy who had a car accident and he got paralyzed from downward. So basically the doctors told him, sex, forget about it. You're not gonna feel anything there. And the man started to work, put him into learning Tantra, exercising and so. He learned Tantra so much that he brought the feelings into his genitals back, and actually now he is even teaching other people how to have better lovemaking than they ever had before. So it's achievable for everyone. It depends how fast, how open you are to learn it. For the woman, it's easier when she removes the blockages, and so it's more in the female nature to learn this. She just have to convince herself, okay, no clitoral anymore. She have much better, and men also, he can have much better orgasms than this. For me, I had a very dedicated lover who introduced me to Tantra, my ex. We were fully in love, and we were very dedicated. We were exercising, making love, reading the book of Margot Anand, and exercising through it. Within 2 months, I achieved a way of freedom that I was not anymore interested with ejaculation. I would say, in average, if you dedicate it, you can do these 2 months, but 4-5 months. And the thing is, like the journey, you notice when you, even after first massage, tantric massage, if you start to experience, and that experience speaks to you much stronger than talking.
It can be done. It can
yes,
be done,
it can be
and
done.
it can be quick as well, depending how motivated you are, maybe if you're predisposed to it or not. My personal journey is that I started with Tantra maybe 6-7 years ago, even more. But then I became, fully continent, or not fully, but largely continent in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And so I also practice continence, which means that I do not ejaculate during lovemaking, and I can. My experience of it has been fantastic, indeed.
Yes.
It's I have a lot more energy, more creativity. I feel happier. Of course, some friends of mine, and also people that don't have a steady partner, because I'm lucky because I have a long-term relationship, obviously, so I can practice this on a regular basis. I know some men instead that maybe they don't have a partner. So one of the challenges for them indeed is to be able to stay in their power, not like chasing women too much, or not being overly going after the sexual experience. I think that's one of the challenges when you're learning it. Is that correct? Or?
Yes, choosing the woman, choosing the like being driven by the desires. It's not only by it breaks sometimes relationships, because the man always choose for that. But that's what also Tantra guides us. This continence, it guides us that we free from the sexual desires in the end. We make love because we choose to make love, not because we have to. It's like, imagine like the yoga people. They don't go to yoga because they have to, like the desire. If they would not, they would get crazy. And so what sometimes people feel with the sex. No, you make love because you want to share beautiful time. You know that this connects you with your partner, and you make it out of choice, not out of like pressure or urge or desires. So sometimes, yes, people thinking about like, oh, I cannot do Tantra because I don't have partner. And I would say in my path, when I was single, my partner left me, she had to go for 2-3 weeks to do her things. And in that moment, when I start to practice with self-pleasuring ritual, self-love ritual, I don't call it masturbation because I don't lose the energy, so I give myself love. So that moment helped me because when you do it with partner, when she do one, too much, sometimes this push you out of the edge, and yes, it happens. You ejaculate sometimes when you get overexcited. So it still happens, you know, now and again. Don't feel guilty about it. But when I was doing it by myself, I could observe the energy. I could observe how many circulation of the breath I need. Where is this moment? How far I can go on the close to the point of no return. So I observe, and I can master it. I could observe the energy, how it flows much better. So,
on your own as well?
Yes, on my own.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and this is also like when you bring this energy up, you don't stop losing it. It's the best way to attract good partner because you shine with that energy. Mm-hmm. The woman feels that on the good level.
And I just read recently the book from Mantak, you know,
mm-hmm.
the multi-orgasmic man.
Yes.
This is more from the Tao tradition, mm-hmm. but it's quite similar. I suppose mm-hmm. you teach more from the Hindu tradition? Or?
From more like Hindu is coming, like no tantric tradition mainly. But I use a lot of, I studied also Mantak from his, one of the first female who was in the team, Dirk Feldman. And yes, I study and I use also sexual Tao in my teachings because it's very powerful. I feel big respect for Mantak for sharing so good and having this beautiful community in Thailand.
Indeed. And what he teaches is that it's very important to move the energy mm-hmm. every day. Mm-hmm. So if you make love or not, it doesn't matter, but you want to move the energy mm-hmm. because moving the energy itself mm-hmm. is a form of boosting your health. Mm-hmm. So it's not just having the pleasure, having the connection, mm-hmm. the peak experience, etc., but it's actually a health practice. Mm-hmm. Because as you mentioned earlier, I think the sexual energy is one of these primal, very strong, powerful energy that is available to us. It creates life, and being such a life force, it can be used for self-healing, for power, and that's very, very, very important, right?
Yes, definitely. It's as I'm saying, you know, and I agree with Mantak here. It's not only about sexual energy. It's one of the energy what you can use, but the energy can be expressed. That's what we are using, this sexual energy, as a love. And that's also moving the energy. As a love also to things what you are doing. And when you do things, also you're moving the energy. Also the exercises of your breath when you consciously, or like Mantak is teaching the Qigong, and so it's moving the energy. It influences, all is interconnected. I teach focus on your breath. Just every time when you remember about that, you have nothing to do, just focus on your breath. When you focus on your breath, you will make miracles in your life. because you bring yourself to the focus. So this is also moving the energy, you know, like doing the breath exercises.
Yeah.
It's use it all, you know. It's like
it's wonderful indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so Michal, I'd like to ask you instead. I mean, there are many places in
Yes.
the world you could go to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you choose Phangan to be basing your school here in Phangan? Why?
So yes, after my first journey into the tropics, Maldives, I felt like, nah, I want to spend winters in the tropics.
That's for sure, yeah.
And then I was looking for home base. Basically, I was in plan to go all around the world to find my home, and I was planning to go into all spiritual places, spiritual vortexes. I wanted to go to Bali, to Sedona, to Mezunte, to Peru, to all South America, and so on, to experience all these places and found my home where I can build the school and settled and more like create, put the roots somewhere. And yes, first place I went to this famous Tantra island, Phangan. And when I came here, I felt, wow, it's so powerful. It's I look always for the most intense things, what will bring me to love better and doing it. And this is one thing, like what I discovered, it's Tantra. The second, being in conscious relationship, triggering each other points, making each other grow, and so using this power of tantric energy and using together sacred sexuality. So, and then Phangan, it felt also like this intensify my growth. During my first time here, so many things, every day since I'm here 5 years, every day is meaningful. Every day it's like, I feel like I'm not here 5 years, I'm here like 25 years already.
Well, thanks a lot for like sharing your experience with Tantra, and yes, good luck with your teaching in Phangan again. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you, Lucas. It's very beautiful. I feel honored to be invited. I really like your channel. I recommend to watch other interviews. It's beautiful, beautiful what you are doing. Thank you.